I cannot argue with that.
No.
There we are. Bell sounds and we are underway. The first contest of Ascension.
We are finally here. I've been anxiously awaiting for this day on my calendar ever since the last time we were here inside Premier Arena.
As soon as I knew that this match was announced, I knew this one was going to be, what does Jim Ross call it? A slobber knocker.
Well, the thing with these two is they are both so insanely talented in a number of different ways. As we see a lockup, center of the ring, jockeying for position here to start the contest. But both of these men are fluent in different styles of professional wrestling. Like we said, Chris Carter recently returned from an excursion down in Mexico, really honing those lucha libre skills, which were already quite developed before he even went on that little trip. And then you've got Shimbashi, as we see here, showing off that technical side.
Again, from being from Canada, you can imagine the Canadian style that Shimbashi will have in this matchup.
That Canadian style, which is synonymous with people like the Hart family, that technical style that can be so aggressive and so bone-splitting, for lack of a better term, as we see. Headlock takeover. It's going to be an interesting, as I said, contrast of styles. Shimbashi here has I wouldn't say insignificant size advantage, which might translate to a power advantage, but Chris Carter might be one of the fastest men ever to step into a squared circle.
And there you saw Chris's speed and agility right there, tripping up Shimbashi and just rolling on top of him to get a front face lock. And now a kick to the midsection. Oh, feet of fury right there, real quick.
But Shimbashi right on the attack again, not going to let off the gas here. Now Carter springboard.
Oh my
Head
goodness.
scissor takeover. There's a beautiful drop kick that sends Shimbashi rolling to the outside.
Yeah, Shimbashi's finding himself to regroup right now here in the early goings, that he's on the outside. You know what that means for Chris Carter.
It means Chris
Oh my
Carter's
goodness.
Into the front row.
right into the front row.
We knew this match was going to be a high speed and high voltage type of style match.
Nice.
And they're sure delivering.
Well, Chris Carter definitely wants to make a statement returning back home, returning to Houston after being gone for so long. Has missed several PWF events trying to make a name for himself down in Mexico. And you have to imagine there's at least a part of him that wants to remind everybody who he is and what he means to PWF.
Well, if he really wanted that, he shouldn't have left to begin with. If you're really a PWF original, why would you leave?
Well, everybody eventually has to spread their wings and fly. Chris Carter has done, as we said at the beginning of this contest, just about everything that anybody could hope to do here in PWF. And the only thing that he brings to the table now is that experience of being a world-traveled professional wrestler.
But look now.
He's becoming the veteran in the locker room.
But here's the thing. He has to start all over again. He leaves, and he has to come back, and he has to start all over again to try to climb the ladder to be the Premier Wrestling Federation champion again.
Well, look, Haley, the Ric Flair, for example, is a 16-time world heavyweight champion, more if you count some others that somebody didn't want to count. But you win those championships a multitude of times. You have to go back to the drawing board after losing one. You don't be considered one of the greats just by winning the championship one time.
But Chris Carter thinks he's the best. He tries to put himself over more than anyone can count.
Well, Chris Carter identifies himself as being one of the top stars in the Texas independent scene, and it's not like he hasn't earned it here as Shimbashi now on the warpath trying to break apart Chris Carter.
Huge backbreaker right there. And you know that high-flying lucha libre style that Chris Carter has been utilizing and honing in on could be damaged at the cost of those backbreakers right there of Shimbashi.
And there we see the striking ability of Shimbashi. As we talked about that aggressive Canadian style. And Chris Carter answering chop for chop.
Well, see, look at the attire of Chris Carter. Almost kind of smart in a way that those chops probably didn't have too much blow to him because there was thick layers that had to go through to get to the chest, so not much there on those chops from Shimbashi, but plenty on this spinning whirly bird.
And it doesn't matter what you're wearing, dizzy is dizzy. And now
Hey.
Shimbashi with a senton.
I don't know if he got all of them there, though.
Carter rolling towards the ropes, and now Shimbashi snap suplex to the center of the ring. Quick cover, lateral press, 2 count.
Like the Dynamite Kid with those beautiful snap suplexes.
Yeah, you can definitely see the influences that have shaped the style of Shimbashi and made him such a prominent figure in the Texas independent wrestling scene. He has been all over the place lately, popping up here in Houston. As we said earlier, basically a stalwart of the Lions Pride promotion up in Bryan College Station, branching out, doing amazing things up in Austin, Texas, San Antonio. Wherever you go, there is a good likelihood you're going to see Shimbashi. And here he is grinding Chris Carter down to the mat, keeping him grounded off of his feet, limiting that aerial offense. It's a smart move by Shimbashi here, as Chris Carter now looking to create some separation.
This crowd, as they always do, getting behind Chris Carter, finding a way out of it with that back elbow as well. Shimbashi coming back, but met with a foot to the face. Oh, Chris trying to go for another offensive move, was cut off the pass.
Beautiful reversers on both parties there. Oh,
Carter
my
off
goodness.
the ropes,
Caught him with a stunner.
and Shimbashi is stunned.
Oh, my gosh.
Oh!
That's
One,
something different
two.
I haven't seen Chris Carter do.
Yeah, that was something new.
That was-
sort of a
that
float
was
over,
unique.
sort of a float over inverted DDT.
Beautiful,
As
actually.
we said, Chris Carter picked up a few new tricks south of the border, off the ropes, going for the God Cutter. Nobody home.
Oh, wow!
Look at the strength of Shimbashi.
Shimbashi just lifting him up with a full Nelson, catching him at the waist in midair and following through with a German suplex.
As I said, there is a power advantage for Shimbashi. Chris Carter off the ropes, ducks that clothesline. Oh! Tilt-a-whirl cutter, and now hooks the leg. 2. Shimbashi gets that shoulder up.
Very close on that one, just a 2 count.
And now Carter going for a little bit of ground and pound. Takes Shimbashi off his game as he tries to ascend up top. Shimbashi up to his feet though, throws that forearm strike to cut Chris Carter off, and now Shimbashi perched on that second rope. These two men fighting it out, looking for a position of power here, perched up top. Who's gonna?
Oh, Shimbashi. Oh, held on and following through.
He's got him up.
Oh my gosh, a
And-
package DDT.
And spiked him, hooks the leg, 2. But Carter kicks out. We've said numerous times, Chris Carter is one of those guys who you practically have to put a bullet in his head to keep him down. And Shimbashi is starting to recognize that fact, starting to recognize why Chris Carter is such a big deal here in Houston Premier Arena.
Well, I saw the look on Chris Carter's face. Didn't quite look like he knew where he was at. And on top of Shimbashi right now, trying to find something. Oh, got the
my
poison
gosh.
rana.
Spiked him right into the canvas,
And he's
now
in position.
Carter looking to dot that exclamation mark. He is up. 2, 3,
That's
and that's
it.
it. A valiant effort by the Canadians.